Hello and welcome to my Arraxor guide. First we'll go over the equipment. So I'll just go over the ranged equipment for now. To start off with, I'll do the weapons. I think a Nux bow is fantastic here. A lot of other people use Ascensions. I think you can even get away with using a Royal Crossbow, it doesn't really matter. For armour I'm using Anima Core. That's basically because I don't have a high enough invention level to get any decent armour perks, and Anima Core is a lot cheaper to buy and maintain than Pernix. I do have Pernix gloves and Glaven boots though. I have the ranged kiln cape, the amulet of souls, and the luck of the dwarves ring. I use a slayer helm for when Araxi is my Reaper task. There are plenty of other armor choices. You could use Serenic, you could use Pernix. Pretty sure you could get away with Armadil here if you're only doing kills at lone rages. So for my equipment I bring a Supreme Overload potion, a Super Prayer Renewal potion, and that last bit there is a replenishment potion, which is basically just an adrenaline potion that also restores some prayer. I've got some anti-poison. I bring a dark bow because a dark bow counts as a shield and will give me access to the defensive abilities, and I bring Enchanted Excalibur for its very useful healing. I bring some potions to restore some prayer. I bring some brews and some rock tails. And then those two things at the bottom is, I don't know how to say it, an Araxate pheromone, which if you're not paying for the instances you'll need so that the boss will attack you in a good attack style rather than one that will really mess you up. And I've got a Ring of Vigor as well. Basically what that ring does is when you use an ultimate you get to keep 10% adrenaline, so it's really useful when you use Death Swiftness to still have 10% adrenaline. Then you use replenishment and then you've got 35% adrenaline straight off the bat. My yak is just completely filled with rocktails, nice and simple. So we'll go over my action bar now. I only really use the two action bars along the bottom for Rexy. The first one, you can see that I've put all the damage over time abilities and snipe towards the end of the revolution bar, and this is just because if you use them right before a Mirrorback spawns or she does the web reflect special attack, you can end up damaging yourself quite a lot of damage just because of a mistimed ability, so it's better to have them towards the end. It makes it less likely that will happen. You'll see further along I've got two very important thresholds, quick shot and rapid fire. It's also worth noting that you should have devotion on there somewhere and debilitate on there somewhere, just because they can be very useful, especially when you get into higher end rages, stage 3 and 4. Just to have reduced damage for that sort of extra few seconds there is really useful. Then you'll see on my second action bar I have Freedom and Anticipate. Those are absolutely necessary to have on some action bar somewhere for Arexi. I've got the Surge and Escape abilities on there as well. You'll notice that under V I've got Provoke, which is very useful when she's in the web stage. You can provoke her and get that extra adrenaline like for completely free. I've got my Bruise on there, which will just help healing. I've got Protect from range, mage, melee, etc. on there. On X there I've got Resonance, which is a shield ability. The next damage you take actually heals you instead. Okay, so you'll see here we've got path 1, which is the one we're going to take, path 2, which is covered by the boulders, and path 3, which is open but we're not going to take. So you head into the arena, start burning the web down, pot up and get your aura active and your prayers active. I managed to forget to put my prayers on, but it didn't make any difference anyway. So, as I'm sure you know by now, this boss will do 4 attacks and then do a special attack. However, when you first start the fight, they may already be partway through that rotation, and you may end up getting the special attack after 2, 3, 4. So what I always like to do is use Anticipate after the second attack to sort of cover you for that whole duration. So there isn't that much to know about phase 1. You want to keep counting the attacks and using Freedom and Anticipate to block her specials. Apart from that, you just want to damage her as quickly as you can. Sometimes I'll use an adrenaline pot during phase 1 and sometimes I'll save it for phase 2. It kind of just depends what mood I'm in. You want to just make sure though that your adrenaline is fairly high when you come into the end of phase 1. When she's below sort of 10,000, 5,000 HP, you can run into your chosen path, in this case path 1. You'll notice here that for a little while I just stop attacking her and just sort of stand around. This is just to show you quite how easy this boss is, especially at the lower rages. It really doesn't matter what you do. I'm not even attacking her, barely taking damage. You can really take your time and chill out with her, just don't panic. If you don't know what I'm doing here already, when she uses the web special attack and reflects damage towards you, you can use snipe, then swap to your dark bow, and then use resonance, and you will heal instead of being damaged. It's a very useful way to get a fairly large heal. Sometimes it can be over 3,000 damage, and it doesn't cost any adrenaline. You actually gain adrenaline by doing it. Alright, so we just entered phase 2. It's worth noting that whenever you go down path 1, her first attack in phase 2 will be the egg bomb attack. This just means that you've got a few seconds where you don't have to worry about using freedom or anticipate or about counting her attacks. You just gather and collect yourself, get ready for the rest of the fight. Now, what I'm sure most guides have told you is to use Death Swiftness, use an adrenaline pot and try and DPS her down as fast as possible in this phase. And that is very good and it does work very well. But I found when I was learning, if I hadn't killed all the 20 minions during phase 2 and I'd moved on to phase 3 or 4, they were much harder to deal with in phase 3 or 4. So it could be worth just taking your time, going really slowly. It won't be a fast kill, but just fighting her at a normal pace in phase 2 until all 20 minions have spawned, and then moving on to phase 3. It will be a lot slower, but it might get you more consistent kills while you're learning. As with every phase, keep counting every 4 attacks and using freedom and anticipate. It really isn't a big deal if you miss some. I think when I was learning I probably missed over half of them, but you can still get the kill done. It's still not a problem at all. You want to watch out for the minions, especially the mirrorback ones and the pulsing ones. I'm sure you've watched guides about them already. You can tell when they're about to arrive because she throws these sort of black bits out from around her mouth. That's the sign that the minions are about to spawn. So when that happens, I just stop attacking her, I take a look around, move my camera around, get eyes on all those minions, kill the pulsing on the mirrorback first, and then when you've got the other ones, you can use your corrupting shot if you've got that, which will spread out damage around them all, and you can use bombardment to kill multiple ones at once. Those are just a couple of useful tips for getting rid of them when they start to build up. Okay, so here's phase 3. You'll see that I run to the end of the path, then I'm using my Death Swiftness adrenaline pot, trying to keep my health up with Sour Brews because they don't drop the adrenaline, and I DPS down. I get a bit unlucky because 5 minions spawn, luckily no mirrorbacks or pulsing spiders, and also the darkness then happens, which means I do take a fair bit of damage during this phase, but I don't want to waste all my Death Swiftness just killing the minions, so I stay focused on her and I just keep taking Sour Brews, keep drinking them. Your health will stay up and your adrenaline will stay up if you do that, and luckily you've got tons of Sour Brews. A little bit more information about phase 3 then. She does attack quite a lot faster, and I feel like she hits a bit more during this phase as well. One of the byproducts of this is sometimes both Freedom and Anticipate will be on cooldown when you're coming up to the 4th special attack. I believe this happens to me at some point during this video, and you just gotta accept your fate, and you're gonna take a bit of damage, or it depends what the special will be. But it really doesn't matter, and as I said, you'll probably be missing some of them anyway. Just don't panic, take your time with it. Okay, so we're coming to the end of phase 3. It's very important that you make sure your adrenaline is fairly high, say above 80%, 100% if possible, and you want your health to be reasonably high. You will have some time to heal between now and phase 4, so your health is less important, but definitely work on getting that adrenaline up. Alright, phase 4 then. Your first 3 times of killing the boss, you unfortunately have a very long cutscene here, and I think your adrenaline will drop. I don't think there's anything you can do to stop it. However, once you've got past that, you get a shorter cutscene and you can do what you see me doing here. I get my shield bow out and I wait for my arms to drop. This means my adrenaline is about to start dropping, and then I use an ability. This now means you are out of combat just for that split second, so you can start eating rock tails without your adrenaline dropping. This is a really, really useful trick to be full HP before you start phase 4. You also want to make sure your prayer is high and that you take in your anti-poison, and you might even want to activate Enchanted Excalibur. It's important to note in phase 4 that she will still use her special attacks. I believe it's roughly every 5 attacks now that she uses them. Just keep an eye on them, still use Freedom and Anticipate. You'll notice she also uses range and mage attacks in this phase. She uses whichever one you're not praying against. So you need to frick your prayers. You can either do that by standing very close to her and flicking them for every single attack, or you can stand very far away and flick them every 3 ranged attacks or every 2 mage attacks. So you'll notice after she hits 50,000 health she doesn't do any special attacks anymore, but she does hit, I believe, faster and more accurately, and she gains in rage. What you want to do is use your death swiftness anywhere between sort of 40 and 50,000 health. Stay stood in it and build your adrenaline up using adrenaline pot, and then when she's between roughly 25,000 and 30,000 HP, use rapid fire. This will normally be enough to kill her. If she isn't dead, don't panic. Just carry on attacking her, stay still, wait for the black thing to hit you, then move, then carry on attacking her, carry on swapping your prayers.